Okay. Remember me, Jamie. Now you look familiar now. I know. I know you. Good, how are you? Oh my gosh, where's your sister? Dad hasn't worked at the hospital. Okay, he wants to be a doctor. So she's up there.
And then her wife, I saw that her at the one's the park and then one's at the office.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just good to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna solve the blocks. No, it was like better than Randy Sanchez. And that was awesome. They should
Very blind. And then, you know. And then, you know, just back there. As voted, yeah. I know, I feel like, okay, so you're the one. We just tried to change. And I'm not a big. That way I'll go into the. Yeah, Robert.
Big signs now. I want to make sure
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Bluefield City Board of Directors meeting for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. Hey, Vaughn, if you read us
Dear Heavenly Father, we're all gathered here today to celebrate this Bluefield and everything that's been happening great in the city. We are thankful for everybody who makes the city become great, and we're thankful for everybody in attendance today. In your name, amen.
which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, to start with, I'd like to ask Alicia Holcomb and Roy Charles to come up front. Green team.
You can say that again if you want to.
Green team. All right. To the community real quick, I would just say, so this year, pretty amazingly enough, we celebrated 100 years of the two Bluefields. So we had a really phenomenal event down at the park to kick it off on July 6th. And then I ran the entire week with a ton of events to culminate at one of our great baseball games and the baseball club and a recognition of a family that, you know, from both sides of the line, they got married. But all that work, all that effort to come together to put that plan, you know, put down the Beaver Grand rivalry and do something together of the two cities. Lori and Felicia led that, did most of the work for it. above and beyond, their own work time they spend here in the city. That's what it takes. It takes two great people coming together with some energy and some innovation to make great things happen. And it was a really great event. And I think we had a blast at the park. And it was just a really nice week celebrating our great history, these two great cities. And it would not have happened without Felicia and Lori. So I think we all owe them a debt of gratitude. And they've actually, their ideas have spurred other thoughts to do other great things between our two cities. And every great thing that accomplishes in this world takes one or two people to get the ball started, and they both did it. So I really love them both, and I really appreciate everything they did to give us a great time for our two great cities. So with that, I'd ask you to give them a round of applause.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Lori, what's up? What's up? Did you bring security? Did you bring a security guard with you? You got nervous, chicken nervous, coming up here learning about security.
Okay, next on our agenda, recognition of transit.
Are you guys want to take security?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right.
Jump in. We're gonna delay that until the next meeting.
We're fraternal twins, so we don't look alike.
Okay. That's why I'm waving and.
Okay, public comments. Governor.
I didn't know if you know.
I didn't speak to.
I need a motion to approve the minutes from the board of directors meeting of July 9th, 2024. I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Action on new business. Approval of the second reading of an ordinance to amend Code of Ordinances of the City of Bluefield, Chapter 40, Article 5, Section 40-194. Mr. Kersey?
This is just the second reading of the ordinance that amends our seatbelt ordinance. We bring it into conformity with the state law. The statute. Seatbelt. Penalty to prepare to be so.
Okay, so I need a motion for the approval of the second reading of an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Bluefield, Chapter 40, Article 5, Section 40-194.
And this one was just making it to be even what the state is, right?
That is correct.
Okay, yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay, got a motion second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Next, Danny, we need financial report, the approval of FY 2025 budget revision number 1.
Yes, sir. The first revision of the new fiscal year is mandated by West Virginia State Auditor's Office to revise the budget that was estimated in March 2024 to the actual carryover amount of July 1, 2024. After most of the year in closing adjustments and accruals, the fund balance currently is $3,454,081. The amount estimated in March during the budget was $5,600,000. This means that the city budget must be revised from $2,445,192. After review of the fiscal 24 collected revenues, Treasury feels that increases need to be made for the fiscal year 25 revenues as follows. Federal governmental grants of $305,333. That's in relation to the BREAT program and the Department of Justice grant that the got. And reimbursements will increase by $271,993. That just has to do with the projects and bringing ARPA interest monies over. Expenditures, the remaining $1,568,593 needs to be decreases departmental expenditures. After reviewing fiscal year 24 expenses, Treasury feels the following changes need to be implemented.
The police judge office increases by $2,300. The police judge with a contract employee to employee, so that takes care of the FICA. City attorney increases by $37,000. That's in regards to land purchases. Building inspection will increase by $147,500. That's in regards to new demolitions debris. City Hall will decrease by $559,433. That's primarily bad debt write-offs. The contingency fund will decrease by $285,101. Those are just built-in funds that will be transferred later than anyway. Streets and highways will decrease by $168,020. Stormwater will decrease by $419,000, and Parks and Recreation will decrease by $323,839 in relation to projects. It is the Treasury's recommendation that all hiring outside of rehiring already approved staff and all pay raises outside of normal probationary raises be frozen until city's budget revision, next budget revision. Special caution should be given to overtime. These expenses inflate multiple categories of expenses. This will allow the budget to stabilize. The $2,145,919 decrease in general fund budget brings both revenue and expenditures to a balanced budget of $14,934,977 is ready for submission to the state for your approval.
When will the next budget revisions take place?
We generally do budget revisions quarterly, so probably October. It would be the would be September, so sometime in October. They're just relatively short.
Okay.
Okay, so need a motion for it. I'll make the motion that we approve the general fund budget, the revised general fund budget, number one, with the treasury recommendation that we, outside of rehiring already approved staff and all pay raises, outside of normal probationary rate, be frozen into the city budget.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
All right, next we have the report of the city manager before we start. I think since Mr. Knowles is not here today, we'll give you a few extra minutes. Trayvon brought his notebook, he's gonna take notes and talk to Matt later on. Go, take it away.
All right, John, if you would please. Hey, before I get started, I just want to introduce, just go back a little bit for me, John. Hey, I've got Brian Tracy here. He's in town this week for a planning commission meeting, but I also wanted to give Brian a second. You sent some stuff out today. There's I think a matinee at 2:00 today for the Granada. But Brian, if you would please just give the crowd and the team a little bit update on some of the things for Granada and what you have going on the bar.
Sure, thank you, Cecil. I'll just stand over here if I may.
Yes, sir.
So I'm Brian Tracy with BARC. We own and manage the Granada Theater, Raleigh Street, Stennis, and the Pain Gallery. Quite a few things going on with the Granada, Raleigh Street, and at BARC. We will be unveiling in the next month or so improvements to the audio experience for our customers at the Granada and Raleigh Street, additional speakers and tweaking the balance upstairs, and some additional soundproofing downstairs. Cecil mentioned the matinees for the summer. We have one today at 2:00. We'll have two more matinee shows on Saturday and Tuesday through Labor Day. So check our website, bluefieldgranada.com. Tickets are only $5 for those shows. We want to bring the option of family entertainment to downtown Bluefield for the remainder of the summer. The Granada and Raleigh Street will be participating in the Lemonade Day festivities. We'll have a football-related event supporting the two teams during the week. I think it's a Wednesday night before the big game. October 12th, we're bringing back the nationally renowned theater organist Teddy Gibson. So if you've missed our show in April, you'll have a second chance in October. October 12th, Teddy will be playing the Mighty Wurlitzer of the Granada, accompanying a showing of the 1925 silent film, The Phantom of the Opera. Great movie for Halloween. And tickets for that should go on sale in the next couple of weeks. Finally, BARC is also active as a real estate developer. We've been successful recently on behalf of the city in getting a commitment for a $15,000 grant from a national nonprofit out of Philadelphia, who's recognizing the great work that the city and other groups are doing here in Bluefield to preserve the First Baptist Church right across the street here at During Street. Now, there's a catch. It does require that the city embark raise another $150,000, which we're working on. But still, a great accomplishment for the city to be recognized by this national nonprofit. And then finally, I think there's been something in the paper and on a few of the TV stations recently about the Travelers Hotel and Hotel Thelma. And we're poised to press the button on 2 applications for funding to the Federal Home Loan Bank out of Pittsburgh, which we hope would bring $3 million to Bluefield to preserve and convert those buildings to affordable housing. So I hopeful for the best that we can deliver on that month. Thank you, Cecil, for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian. Okay, you scroll for me, John? So real quick to the map, just so this one's a little bit older, but let me check real quick here. Just well, they're like the public, Greg, if you get this out. One issue we're having, right? So we put another stop sign up here. So this is Scott Street. This is where you come out of Commerce. It's a little bit of a blind spot for the folks who are coming up Commerce Street as they try to come out. And folks are moving fairly rapidly through here. So what I would ask, got a stop sign up here. We're putting a yield sign up here to try to slow the traffic down, but just to make sure we don't have any accidents here. Jim's going to go into more detail about the progress of the 400 block. You probably didn't notice it, but they did work late last night or late last week in the evenings trying to speed up that process. So eventually we'll get it open back up, but I would just ask the community to take care while driving through this area, and please be careful because the traffic's different and it is tight coming up and down Commerce. But it is blind as you're coming up that steep hill and you can't see these folks whipping around here. You got the AAA building. And then we've had a couple close calls. So please be careful with that part of it coming through there.
Cecil, I also noticed that there's people not stopped at the stop sign at the corner there at Scott and Federal, that they're just rolling on through. And if you got pedestrians crossing, because when I was down there yesterday,
Right.
So we need to make sure that people are adhering, if you don't mind.
Yeah, and believe me, I greatly appreciate the inconvenience of what's going on downtown with all this blockage and routing folks around, but just hang with us. We got a better dawn coming when this is all finished, but please be careful. You do still have a lot of foot traffic downtown, trying to navigate, get in and out of the businesses. So please do your best to drive carefully and not hurt anyone. All those businesses you see at the bottom there, they're still open. So please take advantage of those folks. I know the traffic's a little more complicated. Okay. The recovery point grants cutting, right? That's going to kick off late next week. So we've gotten all the equipment. So I highly encourage everybody that has somebody that needs some assistance to get on the City of Bluefield's website and go into our community and look for Serve the Hill. And there's a job order work form in there. And please fill that out. So we have a list of who needs assistance, who needs help. And we're going to start making our way throughout the countryside here and do what we can to assist. Recovery Point's already started doing some assistance at Mitchell Stadium and some other areas, getting us ready, and a little bit of work down at the playground as we get ready to open that thing up here very soon. Okay. The text my gov, I've hit this the last couple meetings, but I can't stress to you enough how valuable this tool is for us, but also for you, the citizens, right? It informs you of any traffic issues, events going on, anything taking place in the city. If you have something you want to advertise, it's for the greater good of the city, we'll put it on there for you. But it's a text that comes right into your phone. And so if you just put the 91896 and type in Bluefield events, you'll get a response, and then you're part of the program and the team. You can also call in on the bottom half there with the 304 407 3700 and send us messages for anything that you need assistance with, pothole, trees, whatever the case may be, any issues you may have to make us aware of what's going on. But please get that and use that, because that's one of the primary mechanisms we're using to get information out. All the summer camps that went on, the Greater Mount Zion and the Calvary Baptist Church, we put a lot of that out through that system to try to let folks know to get their kids in the programs. So it's a really easy system. Go ahead, John.
And the Fix It app is coming to an end of life August.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so the Fix It Bluefield that we used, quite frankly, we had it for about 8 years. That had a max of about 200 users. So we just saw it did saturate the community. Right now, we have a lot greater numbers with this text, and it's actually a cheaper system and a lot more responsive than the Fix It Bluefield. But this will keep you aware of every Bluefield Ridge Runner game, high school game, Bluefield State College football game, any events going on in the city, and also remote closures by the sanitary board, AEP, the city. It'll keep you informed of everything going on. So I highly encourage you to sign up for this, and you won't miss anything. So it's a pretty good deal.
and there's some flyers at the front if anybody wants to pick one up on the way out.
Yeah, please grab them, take them to your church, take them to your family, your friends. And it's just, we're not tracking you. It's not Big Brother. All we're trying to do is inform you of what's going on in the city and hopefully take part. You know, when Brian does all these events at Granada, we'd love to have you there. And this is a way to remind you to get where we need to go. Fire department, we just ran a test this weekend. So on some of the turnout and some of the applicants, but we're working through the fire process and hiring a couple spots. Keep going. The Ridge Runner train. I will tell you next week, we're going to reroute the Ridge Runner train, turn it around on its current azimuth. We're making some steps this year and doing some work to try to get the Ridge Runner to run during Christmas, which we've never done in the history of the city. So we're looking at it. We've talked to a couple of train experts to get that built out, but as long as the weather holds on the weekend, we've had the train running nonstop. It'll be a part of Beaver Graham Week. We do lemonade days down at the park, and we're going to keep that thing running as long as we can to take advantage of it and let the kids have a good time. But it's going great so far this summer. Playground. All right, we're almost there. All right, they're out. Curtis French and the team are out right now working on the 40-yard dash. The goal is to try to get it set up for later at the end of next week. But I've still got a few meetings this week to confirm that we're gonna have everybody set. We've got some beautification and cleanup to do, but we're about the 95% finish rate on that playground. Now, I encourage you to go down and look at it. It is it's the biggest project this company's ever done in the States, and it is a really phenomenal first-class playground facility, which will be great for the rest of the summer. And we're already start crack-a-lacking on the splash pad for next summer, but it's looking pretty good down there, and the park's looking awesome. All right. Also going on simultaneously, these are still some more pictures out of the playground, but we've also we're getting another level of top coat put on East River and Hardy Street Park. We've got a town hall set up, I believe the 27th. I think it's coming up for East River to talk about the basketball courts and the upgrades there with the community. But the pickleball and the 2 basketball courts are getting revamped as I speak to get ready to start painting those and get those opened up. So here's the town hall meeting I was referencing over at East River. That is the 29th of July at 5:30. We've got camera systems already set up in that park. We've already got the first top coat on the basketball court. Parks and Recs is working through that. Throughout August, we'll be putting in a new bathroom, new mulch, and cleaning up their parking area and some additions to their playground. That should be real nice for that community as well. Still hire lifeguards, so if you got anybody interested, please get them to see us. We can always use lifeguards. Still got our water week. This week, the Parks and Rec is out on our adventure camp, so we've got kids going down the New River rafting today, and a lot of great events going on with that crew, so it's going great. Dance camp's coming up August 12th through the 16th. Keep going, please. And then we jump into Public Works. The last thing I'll say, we brought a nice new lady named Catherine Candace to the city. Next board meeting, she's going to give a nice rundown. But I assure you, in the city of Bluefield, this summer there has been a ton going on for the kids. And part of you sign up for that text is to know about it. But Scott Street Church did a nice Bible school. The Nazarene Church, Mount Zion Pentecostal, with work with the Bluefield Police Department, the DOJ grant, ran a drumline camp for about 2 or 3 weeks. Had 40, 50 kids. Reverend Tucker, Bishop Tucker over at Calvary had a nice 4-week-long camp. We've got all the camps in the Parks and Rec that they've done this summer. We got all the stuff with Bluefield State University and Case with basketball and football. So I will tell you, those are all fairly inexpensive, and there was a lot of stuff going on. So make no mistake, we'll give you a good rundown next week. But there has been a heavily concerted effort from our churches, a lot of volunteers in the city and the city itself to try to do all these great things, and we're cleaning up some good stuff for Beaver Graham Week. Hopefully a couple of Pee-wee games for the Beaver and Graham side, and we should have a nice week for Beaver Graham as we get close to the end of August and school starting back up. This is the public works team. Besides all the work they're doing in the parks and everywhere else, this is some of the paving jobs that are currently ongoing, street cleaning, tree cutting, curb fixes, and pothole work, which we're still doing continuously, moving forward on. But they're out there every day trying to get to see where we want to be. And you can see some of the work we're doing here on some of the paving and the potholes out there that need to be addressed. Some of the storm drains, so. And with that, board, that's all I've got. We're just moving full speed ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Report from Nita.
Can I share? All right. So today we want to unveil a new VEDA program. And we talked about it here recently at the VEDA board. It's a program where we're going to support our local businesses in the city and provide data analytics. Who are your customers, where they come from, how to get to them, and all kind of information. What's the purpose? Well, if you remember our three-pronged approach, number one, support existing business. It helps fulfill that mission. Number two, support entrepreneurs. Well, entrepreneurs need data analytics as well. Could be marketing, could be looking at the website, the social media, things like that. And number three, attract new industry. This is kind of information a lot of times new retail development, things like it would like to have. So this is a free service we're providing to businesses. We gave a demo of it recently. And Brian, we're actually going to jump in with you all first.
Yeah.
So our folks are taking a little bit of training on that. So here very soon, Christian Yates, who's I've got quarterback and he's an intern, we'll be setting up a meeting to go over that with you all. But the goal is this year to concentrate on trying to help grow our existing business. Number two is we partnered with New River Community College. They've been teaching CNA classes at the Raleigh Street Cinemas. This was a food truck class. They actually had a culinary class, and the gentleman in the sort of teal shirt there leaning up against the wall is Daniel Groves, who has been a restaurateur for 35 years. And he came in and was teaching some things to some of the folks in our program. And so that was last week. We're continuing to partnership with them. You'll see us feeding some people maybe into their program and vice versa. So with the upcoming back to school, it's hard to believe that we're heading there quickly. I don't know what happened in the summer, but Lord getting into it. A lot of times people don't realize just how good of a community partner they are and the things that they've done. Lord, I met with them yesterday. They want to host a back to school event. We'll be a co-partner with them in that. They'll have pop-up that is at their facility. And I think the date is the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. I can't see, I don't have my glasses on. Can you see that, Robert?
August 3rd.
3rd, I'm sorry. It's a Saturday. And they're also doing, if somebody wants to drop off school supplies, they're collecting that for the local schools. And then also they're going to have a clothing exchange. So for example, if I was taking in a certain size of clothes, there's others that may need that. It's just clothing exchange, and whatever's left over will come down to the Union Mission. So I think it's just a good news story that we have a local company that's trying to give back to the community, especially with school-age kids and things like that. So that will be a pop-up event. And if you'd like to see their facility, you can take a tour that day when they're doing that. So the pop-up retail will be inside of their facility. So we continue with the training that we try to provide. We're actually partnered with Intuit Alorga that they will do a QuickBooks 102. There's a lot of businesses that use QuickBooks, but they need a little bit of help. For example, we heard about one down in McDowell County, the library. And Dick Johnson told me that the other day, that they were having trouble. It's taking them 4 hours to do payroll for 8 people. Shouldn't take them long. And a lot of times that's a training issue. So we're hosting a class. It'll be a free class. The date is either going to be the 13th or 20th of August, probably from 6 to 8 p.m. I'll let you know for sure once we finalize it. 400 block, it wouldn't surprise me if later this evening the top few floors are gone. And if you see they're taking off the front section, working their way back. So even now, all that's left is that one row of windows vertically on the Main Street side. as I was coming over. So they're making quick progress, but keep in mind, there's still a lot of cleanup. So it's just because it's down, it's not near over, we've got quite a bit of work to do. So, Mr. Vice Mayor, that's my report, unless there's any questions, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, is there anything else that needs to come before the board? No? Then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Okay. Adjourn. Thank you all.